Oh, how I love it when South Africa proves people wrong. What an amazing performance today. We saw a clinical performance from South Africa, leveling the series, good performances all round. Rossouw with an excellent knock, REEZA Hendricks with consistency, Keshaf Maharaj, REEZA Hendricks, Lungingiri, Andile Pechelkwaya all in the field. Shamsi coming back with an amazing performance. So much to talk about. Lungi Ngidi showing his ability at the death with the ball. Andile Pechelkwai showing his wicket taking ability. Stuff still to talk about there, guys. I'm going to get into that right now. But so much to talk about. I'm so happy about this victory. They showed a lot of character. What a difference a day makes. Today is the review show, guys, and the call-in show for you guys to call in as well. But without further ado, guys, let's get straight into today's video. Let's not waste anybody's time. We can sleep a little bit earlier tonight because this game ended a little earlier than last night. So let's get straight into today's video. But I have to say that you guys have to subscribe to Cricket Fanatics magazine first. Click the link on the screen as well as in the description. Become a Patreon to help us grow South African cricket and help us promote South African cricket by clicking on the Patreon account and becoming a patron today. Smash that like button, comment and share, do all of those things. And go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all of your updates. So without further ado, guys, let's get straight into today's video. Looking forward to this one. A very good evening and welcome to Cricket Fanatics magazine. This is your review show. I'm your host, Khalid. This is the show where we talk about everything that has to do with the second T20 between South Africa and England. What a game, guys. South Africa were put into bat. It seems like winning the toss was the wrong way to go with the small grounds. South Africa won the toss in the first match and put England and decided to bat bowl first in the first match. And now England decided to do them to us. And both teams that bowled first both teams that batted first ended up winning the matches. So good to see that is the case. But let's go through the game quickly for the guys that never really got the opportunity to watch it, because we know we get a couple of guys that watch this back that maybe have gone to sleep. So South Africa scored 207 for 3 in their first innings. Again, another failed performance from Quinton de Kock. Looking to be attacking, but hitting directly to the fielder. They dismissed him the same way that they dismissed him in the ODIs, which is a little bit unfortunate. Excellent performance from REEZA Hendricks. REEZA Hendricks performed exceptionally well, once again showing his ability as to open the batting. Obviously, at this particular case, he was Temba's replacement. But 53 of 32 deliveries and a 50 in the last match too. He's starting to push Temba Bavuma for that position. I think it's going to be very difficult for Temba to get back into this team as a player, as a batter. If they need his captaincy abilities, that's going to be the question. There are going to be questions about his selection going forward, and some people are going to still talk about that. But I don't want it tonight. I want to just celebrate this victory first and foremost, because it was a really good character. It was a good show of character and mental strength today to be able to pull back this victory and get a victory and improve on every single aspect that they got wrong in the last match. That is incredible. So Rossouw, standout performance, 96 of 55 deliveries. He scored 10 fours and 5 sixes, striked at 174.54. We mustn't forget that REEZA Hendricks was striking at 165.622. Hendrik Klaasen went out for 19 of 10 deliveries, but the intent was there, guys. I was happy with the intent that he showed. He might have went out, but I like the intent he showed. Tristan Stubbs once again showing that he can hold his own as the finisher in South Africa, in South Africa's team. He did struggle a little bit with Chris Jordan at the end there. South Africa in general struggled to get to that 220 mark, which a lot of our fans were hoping for. But clearly 207 seemed to be enough. England's attacking approach didn't really work for them. They started off quite slowly. They lost wickets in the fourth over, in the sixth over, in the ninth over, in the 11th over, 2 wickets in the 11th over there, in the 15th over, and then again in the 16th over, and then in the 17th, and then 2 wickets again. So continuously losing wickets and being bowled out for 149. So ultimately, or was it 150? I remember it being 150 actually, or was it 149? ESPN Cricket versus 149. I thought it was 150. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. It's 1 run difference. South Africa got the victory, and that's most important. It is a 58-run victory for South Africa. And now let's talk about the bowling, because there's not too much to talk about in the batting department, really. I think that Rossouw has really put his hand up as a potential opener or number 3 for South Africa. I think because Rassie comes back into this team, Rossouw most likely open the batting. There are some question marks, obviously, still continuing over Quinton de Kock. Let's see if he can seal the series for us in the last game. We'll see how that works, and we'll see how he moves forward with regards to that. But I want to talk a little bit about the bowling, because I think there's some things to talk about over here. I've always said that we shouldn't doubt Shamsi, but that may be the wrong thing. Maybe continuously doubt Shamsi, because whenever we do doubt Shamsi, it tends to bounce back amazingly with all the criticism. I think the way he performs under pressure, Shamsi, when he is getting criticized, is amazing. I like the way he pulls his character up. He just focuses to do that the next day after you performed like that the day before. I think he deserves a lot of credit for the way he bowled. The Bray Shamsi obviously ending with 3 for 27 in his 4 overs. Andile Peghlekwayo. Andile Peghlekwayo is Andile Peghlekwayo. What you see is what you get. Inconsistency. Plain and simple. Man took wickets today, but was quite expensive. Yes, he finished with 3 for 39 in his 3 overs. Took key wickets though. We have to give him that. Josh Butler was a very important wicket. That was actually a very key wicket. Livingston was a key wicket, as well as and it was a good wicket to bowl Adil Rashid too. So he took great wickets, good wickets, put pressure on them, but he is very expensive. Like, for example, that 1 over where he took that wicket, I think it was the wicket of, I don't know which one it was. I can't remember exactly, but there was the over where he bowled 3 wides, and then he took a wicket. That shows the inconsistency that he still has. There is still got inconsistencies within his game. He's always been a wicket taker, though. That has been my thing with Andile. He's always found a way to take wickets in the past, but he's so expensive, guys. So I think that he needs to find some way for stock delivery or consistency with regards to that. Put the ball on the same spot continuously. Find a stock delivery that works for him. He's maybe trying a little bit too much, I think, at the crease sometimes with the ball, but he deserves the credit for the wickets that he took. I think it was an excellent performance from a wicket-taking perspective, but he needs to clean up his consistency with regards to finding his good line and lengths and putting pressure on the bowl. On the bat. Yeah, and then we've got some good performances with the ball from, as well as from Keshav Maharaj's perspective. I think Keshav played okay. He wasn't our best bowler today, but I think Lungingiri must get credit, definitely. For 2 for 11 in his 2.4 over, showing his ability with the ball. It's nice that South Africa have that option to only bowl Lungi 2 overs, 2.4 overs, we have the team unit to be able to do things like that. KJ Rabada also took a wicket for 35 runs. Wasn't at his best today, but did what he needed to do. There was a lot of pressure on the bowlers today. A hell of a lot of pressure on the bowlers today after the performance. And he did put pressure on the bowlers too, Khalid. Yeah, because I was thinking that too. We got Seppo with us. He's going to join the panel. Welcome to the show, brother. I've seen you in so long. It's good to see you.
Oh, good to be back, guys. Sorry it's been so long. Been very, very busy, but good to be back with a W. It is good to be busy. It is. But I feel like I only come when we win. Then I have to stop what you're doing. No, I'm joking. But yeah, good times.
Yeah, so let's talk about it because let's talk about the beginning of the game first and your assessment of it and etc. Because at the start of the game, we had a lot of people saying, "Oh no, why the same team?" I think we maybe have to commend Boucher and the team for being so brave to keep the same team. It could have been easy for them to just drop Andile, drop the players that performed poorly, and put new guys in, and then you have an
Mm,
excuse of, "Oh no, but these guys didn't play before, so you know this happens." They stuck to their guns and they continued with the same 11. And the same 11, they produced an amazing performance. Fielding was excellent today. It was like a completely different team in the field today. Excellent catches all around. I mean, that catch from Keshav was brilliant. The catch from Lungi
yo, that
Gidi,
was crazy. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, the catch from Lungi Gidi was brilliant. The catch from REEZA was brilliant. Even David Miller was excellent in the field today as well as per usual. We know that he's good. His field placements today, I think Miller as captain today, the way he utilized his bowlers, the way he placed his field well, the communication between him and the bowlers were good. It was an all-round great performance from South Africa, and it was a great way to bounce back to show that we do have the character.
Mm.
But from your
Nah,
perspective,
yeah.
what is your analysis of the game?
Nah, my analysis is basically that it feels like everything's a team effort. Everybody's taking wickets, everybody gets to be the captain, everybody's getting a chance, everybody's getting a shot. Literally, Riley Rossouw stepping up today. And I'm seeing in the comments people chatting about QDK not being on form. But REEZA Hendricks is on form now. And just the other day we were chatting about REEZA Hendricks. Wow, 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 wow. Like guys, everybody is stepping up, because QDK can't be QDK all the time, but at least there's someone there on the other side, picking up the slack, and that's what it feels like in the camp. The way the gents are diving out there on the field, it just feels good, man. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, the team atmosphere, the contributions, just as a leadership group. It's not just one person that has to carry the thing. And I think it's got to do with even the chats after the game, giving everyone a chance there as well. So I think the nature of how we're winning just feels very good. It feels like the essence of what we're trying to achieve. So yeah, I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, me too. What I'm liking here is that I put a tweet earlier on saying like, "Oh, what are you gonna do when all our batters are in form?" That's a great headache to have actually, because currently we are sitting with a full it, you could say 7 or 8 batters now that are starting to get form at the perfect time leading into this World Cup now. So there's going to be a lot of decisions that they have to make. They're going to have to make decisions on when Temba Pavuma comes back. It's going to be difficult for him to take Riley Rossouw's place because, Riley Rossouw, you see, at the beginning and the start, he does start a bit slowly. And I think he does struggle a little bit, maybe perhaps with a new ball. And I think he will, if he comes in with the ball a little bit old, with the openers having done well, he'll be way more destructive from the get go, I think. As an opener, he might still struggle a little bit with a spin delivery at first or the swing delivery at first. We saw that a couple of our batters actually do. They struggle with the moving ball a bit at the beginning to get themselves going. REEZA struggled a bit, and then he gets off and he goes off on a tangent, and he's the player that we all knew that he was capable of. That's why I always say, when we look at domestic cricket and we see the way players play, I always try to look at the significance of the matches, and I always knew that Reza Hendricks had it within him. He always had the talent within him, but he just couldn't get that consistency. He'd score like a 70 against India, and then the following game he'll get maybe a duck and a 3 or 4, and he'll look completely clueless. Then he'll go again and not get opportunities as a result. Other people will get picked ahead of him, and then he gets picked. So for him to be able to do what he's doing, we actually need to give him a lot more credit than we do,
Mm,
because he's
mm.
pulled out in and out of the team constantly, and then he does what he did today in the series. I don't think he necessarily would have always, like for example in the World Cup when Quinton de Kock pulled out, he was just suddenly thrown in and then he scored runs and he helped South Africa to a victory, which is something that we don't give him praise for, because that takes a lot of I don't think people understand the mental strength that takes to be able to do that, to just suddenly wake up and say, you know what, I have to be on my A game. So I do believe that he does need to get some praise for that.
Yeah,
I
I
have got
think. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Go
no,
ahead.
no, continue. No, no, no. continue there.
No, I
Because
think
otherwise we go on
right
to the next topic.
right. Oh, sorry. So
Yeah.
right now everybody's sort of feeling like that. Like now, it feels like the team's sort of clicking, and that's what I said earlier about everybody sort of contributing. And you always knew that REEZA Hendricks had it in him. You know, you have the same feeling with like Aiden Markram, like RILEE Rossouw, who didn't score in the last game, scores now. And you get a lot of those feelings. And REEZA Hendricks as well. What I enjoyed about him was that he'd always give you a 30. He might not have like struck too quickly, but you know that like in time he could really just get it to the next level. And I think now, in terms of preparing for the World Cup, you could see how things are sort of moving forward as well. And we haven't even chatted about the bowlers, which I think is a very interesting conversation to have as well.
Let's talk a little bit about RILEE Rossouw. I mean, after 6 years
Yeah,
back, he was one of my favorite players back in the day. I mean, I've told
same.
the story. I've told the story many times that actually my first time ever in the press box. It was when Australia was here and we beat them 5-0. It was my first time ever in the press box, and I got to meet RILEE Rossouw in the presser. After the presser, I asked him for a selfie. Luckily, the that was the last press conference. There was nobody after that, so we were kind of all just chilling around. And then I went up to him and asked for a selfie, which is not what you're supposed to do as a media person in the
Yeah,
media box. I didn't know that. Of course, I was a young bee in the media box, and I just saw one of my heroes, so I wanted to get a selfie. So I got a selfie from him in the puff. But then in that same series, we got some news from him about Kolpak and deciding to sell a Kolpak deal. And I felt it a bit, it left a bitter taste in my mouth
hmm.
because um, of the way he left South African cricket. Um, because Carl Abbott went about it the right way, etc. Talking to his teammates, talking to the coaches, and then making this decision, and then making a decision where, as he just sent an email to Russell Domingo, spelled Russell Domingo's name wrong in the email as well, and just told him that he signed the call back already. No asking, no talking about advice, etc. So I was a bit upset, but that was a very long time ago. I like the consistency from Victor and Pitsang to if you're gonna give one Colpack player an opportunity, you might as well give anybody that is available that is in form. So I do like that they're testing that. The big question here that I want to ask you, Tsepo, because after this performance today, it took some time to get started, but once he got going, he was lethal. What happens at the number 3 position? Because ultimately, RILEE is the replacement for Rassie van der Dussen as it stands, seeing that he's batting at 3, and REEZA Hendricks is the replacement for Temba Bavuma, seeing as it stands. But when Temba comes back and you have an informed REEZA, and you have an informed RILEE, and you have an informed Rassie, and you have an informed Aiden, what happens then? What would you do in that case after this performance? Because, I mean, he's definitely putting pressure now on Rassie van der Dussen at that number 3 position.
Yeah, I think it's a very tough question, and I think even Mark Boucher, when he feels this question, he's like, "Oh, you're gonna have to chat to the selection committee." Yeah, that's not my job. I'm talking about the cricket chair. So, yeah, it's a tough question to answer, but I think if it were me, you know, I like the energy of giving everybody a chance. It's going to be hard to choose a squad. That's probably going to be the squad, but then you're going to go for matchups and conditions, and there's going to be a lot of things that sort of affect your decision. Yeah, but you probably go with Rassie van der Dussen because he's been in the setup for a while, but I'd have to look at some stats as well because I mean, like RILEE Rossouw is pretty explosive, but it was also a small field. And when we get to Australia, the field's not going to be the same. It's going to be like a lot bigger. So we're going to have to deal with that. So it's going to be interesting how the matchups are going to be chosen. It's probably going to go match by match. We saw the matchups, how matchups basically worked today, word for word. And then people roasting Andile Petlokwayo here. Guys, obvious tactics. He's going down that line. He's trying to change up the way you have to bat, not bowling it in the arc, so making the batters work. And it actually got Adil Rashid out. And it feels like every single over, although it was expensive, he struck, you know. No England batter was able to really run away with the game. And that's what the team did well. So yeah, it's shoo, there's a lot to choose from here. So
Mm.
yeah, there's a lot to discuss as well, and there's a lot to consider. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very tough call, and it's not a call that I want to make. I mean, I don't have any. At the moment, I'm just happy with that. Everybody in the squad is putting up their hand and putting in
yebo,
performances.
yebo.
And they're reacting to bad performance as well too. Like when they do poorly, they bounce back beautifully. So I like that. Let's hope that they can keep it up though for the next one. Um, the tricky thing is now is I got the feeling that that Rassie van der Dussen and Aiden Markram were just rested for this match. So that's convenient because if the players that played in their spot didn't perform in the two matches now, then it's just a simple decision. What do South Africa do at this point? Because at the moment they've been rewarding good form
Mm.
and they've been taking out players that are in bad or in a bad nick. So for the next game, what do you do, Tsepo? Or do you want to keep that for maybe for a little bit later and we continue talking about the game right now? I think maybe, um, and then keep that
Um,
for our review part of for the next game because I'll want to like obviously talk through that. Are we playing the next game on Sunday?
I'm not sure actually. I was actually surprised by the quick turnaround today. I was like, oh, there's a game today. Oh, damn. So yeah, no, got onto that pretty quickly. But yeah, maybe we could keep talking about the game. I did also say I wanted to chat about the bowling.
Yeah, Sunday,
Um,
the 24th of July, we play the next game. So we can have a review
awesome.
maybe tomorrow about that. So let's just talk about the game
Thanks,
today then. This
Lorenzo.
can be a review show. Thanks, guys, for that. The live chat is open. I mean, the super chat is open as well as the live call-in link. If you want to call in and have your show, have your say, smash the like button, please. There's 43 people watching, so please um, get involved with the live chat and smack that like button as well. But the call-in links are open for you guys to call in and have your say. Okay, so let's continue talking about this. We've got Tristan Stubbs that has he's shown what he's able to do with the bat. And today, yes, he might have struggled a bit, but I like the intent and I like the thought processes of he showed that he is able to rotate the strike and also get the informed batter on strike. I like the connection between the team and RILEE. So the conversations they were having in the middle. And that's good to see as well. Um, so man of the match for me, RILEE Rossouw, definitely, in my opinion at least. And I think obviously the Shams bowled brilliantly. Do you want to just talk about where you see Aiden Markram and Rassie now fitting in? Because I mean, if you have a batting lineup that has both Aiden and Tristan in it, you now have two extra six bowling options. Basically, you have a sixth and a seventh bowling option. So it does help a lot when you have batters that can bowl a little bit too.
Mm.
So where do you see Rassie and Aiden fitting into this now? If they do come slot into this team.
I think obviously, like the obvious selections would be RILEE Rossouw and Tristan Stubbs because they're relatively new additions to the squad that has been sort of built up with this group in terms of the core group building up to the World Cup. RILEE Rossouw being a very new addition here, who's been given a chance, and guys like the next World Cup is now. The one after this is literally 2 years away. So RILEE Rossouw can even play at that one. And who knows? He could just be on the plane as well. But you'd feel that Rassie van der Dussen would sort of be like the first pick. Um, and then yeah, RILEE Rossouw sort of just comes in. If Rassie's not like teeing off properly, then just a quick swap. And it's not like you're being dropped. It's just like, hey, dude, you're not 100%. So just give it to someone else, let them get a chance, and then you can sort of bounce back. And yeah, at least there's someone else that can take your place while you get your act together. So yeah, with Tristan Stubbs, what we're seeing is that we have depth. And some people feel like that could make people that don't really have an established position, like get them insecure. But it could even create some sort of security where if there's a team of rotation and there's a culture of rotation, then you sort of just understand that's part of the plan, that's part of the system. And we're seeing that work in football with like Pep Guardiola, and we know that Enoch Nkwe also like enjoys that type of stuff. So, in terms of systems working together, and that's what like we're seeing in terms of the nature of the win, like how we're winning. Going back to that, batters contributing. If someone's not stepping up, someone else steps in their place. Bowlers as well. Um, yeah, and Tabray Shamsi. Let's just talk about bounce backs as well. Yeah, like the fielding as well is what let us down in the first game, and now execution was on point. So just the bowling side of the game needed a brush up, and we responded nicely. So it looks like we have that character as well. So yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so we got our first caller on the show that's waiting for us. Hussein, welcome to the show. What would you like to say, brother? How are you? Obviously, after last night, are you happy about this performance, and how happy are you?
Hi there, guys. Yeah, no, very good performance on the guys. We batted really well. I think RILEE was so excellent batsman, and even on the bowling side, our bowling was top notch, fielding was top notch. I feel that all the elements and all the stuff that we wanted to work yesterday worked today, and it was like impressive to see that how yesterday a bowler like Shamsi can get smashed for 49 in 3 overs, and today come back and pick up 3 important crucial wickets and pick up wickets where the guys were swinging and he's getting the batsman caught on the boundary. So
Yeah,
that was really good stuff. With the fielding, even that was really impressive.
yeah,
And just on the conversation that you were saying now regarding RILEE and Rassi and Aiden, I feel that what they should actually do is, in a way, can they not use each batsman as a, what do you say, as a element of surprise in each game. So like
Ooh,
Ooh,
yeah, I
interesting.
like
I
that.
was just about to say something along the lines, but continue.
so like you have like you start off with, for example, you play Rassi for one game, then you can play Aiden for another game, then you can play
Ooh,
RILEE for another game, and then it's like boom,
yes.
you know what? You don't know what's coming now. Who's playing who? It's like you like in a different every game. It's a different batsman, and then you catch the opponent that way.
Yeah,
Matchups.
and
It makes
I,
matchups difficult. You're right,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah,
it
That's
does.
4D stuff right there, buddy. I like
Yeah,
that. Squad
you see,
depth.
what the stance that I'd love to take at this particular time is, I think we as a fan base actually are in a good space
Wait.
right now, because the reason why I say this is because everybody's on form, right? That is actually the perfect thing for our fan base, because we can just support whoever's got picked on the team. That means that Boucher can pick the team that he wants. He can pick a team that he feels is going to win a match, and we can fully support everybody because we know there are players as well in the back end that are also performing as well. I don't think the debate will be as much. There will be discussions amongst everybody, because everybody has their favorites. Everybody wants their player to play instead of someone else, and there's always anybody can string up a whole lot of stats to prove why someone else must play. So I think we're in a very nice space right now. I
Mm,
think South Africa are in a
mm,
comfy space right now to be able to pick their best teams according to what the situation is. Let's think of cricketing reasons, because the small ground puts a lot of pressure on certain players in a specific understanding of that. An unfit Andrich Nokia, if he had to bowl today, for example, I think he would have struggled and flown to the boundary. And he himself said he's still in rehab, he's still trying to find his rhythm. Andile Peklakwayo, he's a slower bowler under 130. So when he misses his mark, he's expensive, and it's so obvious to see that. But having the batters in the mindset of we're going to take you on, they actually lose their wickets as a result because of that. Tabray Shamsi on this wicket found a way and a length to bowl on the small ground now. I think they were quite shocked in the first game about what is happening with the grounds and how small the boundaries actually are. I think one boundary was 54 meters. That's half a rugby field. So that's incredible. That's crazy how short it is. So I think a lot of them were quite shocked by that. And I think they learned from their mistakes yesterday. But as a fan base, I think that 11 that gets picked, I mean, leading up to the game, that's why we have these discussions. We have a preview show in all of these shows beforehand, so that we can discuss these things and debate and talk about what we want to see and what we don't want to see. But I would like on game day for us to support the 11. Actually, I saw a lot of you guys on social media supporting this team regardless, and I'm liking that from you guys. So it's actually a very good space to be in. Hussein, one thing I want to ask you about that method of picking guys like whenever. Cricket is also a momentum game. So do you feel that that might rattle some players because not getting consistency? Because you like, for example, Quinton de Kock, we've seen it so many times where he might go 1 or 2, 3 games without scoring, but then in the next game he'll score a match-winning game to win a series or something like that, or win a match. So, I mean, don't cricketers also need that time at the crease to have that consistency?
Yeah, that's also true. But also, like, to even think about it, if a guy like Markham, he can open the batting, he can bat 3, 4, or 5. So a player like, and he can also bowl. So he offers you a more of a variety. Whereas Rasi he can bat in the middle. He can bat from 3. He can bat 3, 4, and 5. Markham can come in for a person like REEZA Hendricks if he's not performing. Bavuma if he's not performing. Rasi can come in for a person like RILEE if he's not performing. And then you can play Markham at 2 and then Rasi at 3. So, like, I feel that I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. If the players are not going to get that momentum in playing that so many games, but with now how cricket is evolving and how cricket is going, with all these T20 leagues and all these leagues going around the world, players would have played X amount of games and had X amount of games to have played going into a World Cup or going into certain series. Like they won't be playing 5 games and then going into a World Cup. They'll be playing many games leading up to the World Cup, and they'll have the T20 experience playing in all the leagues around the world. So
that's an excellent point.
So you can't say that a player like Markham, like, I mean, like, look, you're playing international cricket. You can, if you have to come in tomorrow to play, you have to come in tomorrow and play and make a 60. You have to make a 60 and carry on. You know, even like another thing is what I was thinking is the fact that with our T20 tournament that we're gonna have now, the one that we're gonna have upbringing and coming up, that's gonna increase the depth in our cricketing system massively. We're gonna be getting to a point where we can field a team for a test team and field a team for a one day team, 2 different teams. We're gonna get to a point where we can do that. At the moment,
aren't we there?
At the moment, we can't do that.
What?
Not as yet. Not as yet.
My friend, look at the squads. Yes, there are people that go through all the squads. You know, the Keshav Maharajas, the Temba Bavumas, the Rasis. But as we see now, we don't need Rashi van der Dussen to play in T20s. And we're showing that now, today. We don't need Quinton de Kock to play test match cricket. We saw that. Like, we're there, like anything can happen. And I think now, more than ever, like, South African cricket it just feels healthy. Everything feels healthy, we're making decisions for our depth. People are panicking. I'm glad you brought up that T20 tournament. People are panicking about dropping ODI points. Guys, we're concerned with bigger picture. If we have to play qualifying games, so be it. Like, it's not like we're going to choke against, like, Scotland, Like, come on, guys. Yeah, I'll touch wood just quickly, but yes.
You'll be careful.
But jokes aside, like, we're making competent decisions about our cricket everywhere, and it feels good. I think so. I think we're moving in the right direction, and I feel hopeful about the cricket, man. Yeah, come on, feels good. Good.
Even after yesterday's defeat, we could pull out some positives out of that game too. So that's a good thing.
Stubbs, bro, come on, right? Damn, the youth. Shoot, good times.
Thank you for the super chat, Munir Sunday. Thank you very much for the super chat. See, guys, there are people that are willing to give us some super chats over here. Please keep going, guys. Yeah, I think we're in a wonderful space currently. We still got young brewers coming through the system. I still got a lot of hope for Bryce Parsons. Because I think that having a top 3 batter that can also spin the ball is also very in the mix as well. We've got a lot of young all-rounders coming through the system as well. Andile Somalani, there's Mapu Moana coming through the system. there's many talented players coming through that I'm hopeful for. You've got Gerald Coetzee in this T20 squad that we haven't seen play yet. There could be an option to see him maybe play a game or so. I mean, I would have liked to see everybody get opportunity. That first game made it crap because if we won that first game, I think we would have been able to have the freedom of being more experimental in the last game. If we could seal a series early. That's why I always like to seal a series early. But South Africa are used to starting slow, I guess. And once again, we've done it again. But
didn't we win the first ODI though? Sorry, Khalid. Sorry, but we won the first ODI.
Yeah, yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, sorry. Continue.
Yeah, but when you look at it overall,
well, I feel like we're turning a leaf. Okay, yes,
I want to be positive. Let's be positive.
And the India series, the India series as well. That was literally a 2. We teetered towards the end, but yeah. But anyway, sorry, continue.
It'll be awesome to see what happens with this team. I think we're in an excellent space right now because we finally have a situation that we wanted. We wanted a strong 11 and strong backups in each position. And now we have that, I feel. I think in every single position now we have got it covered. I don't think there's one position, perhaps maybe Shamsi. We don't have like a wrist spinner that can maybe come in and do what Shamsi does. He's like a unique type of player. But other than that, I think we have every single position covered now. We just need Quinny to come to the party now in the World Cup. Yeah. That's about it. And then we should be all good to go. What's nice about the World Cup, like I said, we must be able to have a squad that we can decide. Look here, the conditions are determining this. Let's play this.
Mm-hmm.
The conditions are telling me that. Let's play this. Like you said, that's what you said, Hussein. Maybe not the entire team, but maybe 1 or 2 positions. You're right. I think we could maybe do that and confuse the opposition because if you have informed batters like that and players like that, but then we need to make sure that we pick the right 15 because not all of these players can be picked. The 15
that's a tough one.
Remember that
it's going to be hard.
It's going to be hard. Because now you have to get your versatile players to be selected on the bench so that you can cover more than one position now, and that's going to cause some issues going in. But it's a good problem. I'd rather be sitting like this right now than having players and looking behind your shoulder and say, "Oh, hey, who's coming in next?"
But another thought I was to think about is the fact that we're playing in Australia for the T20 World Cup, and from the team from what we have, I think it's only been David Miller and RILEE Rossouw on the batting side of things that have played in Australia. Because I remember RILEE Rossouw played in the 2015 World Cup, and then from that day, he went on his old Copac story or whatever.
When he played, we beat them.
Yeah.
KG, of course.
Timber played for Test though, but he's technically there.
You know what I'm worried about from Australia point of view? I want to see what we're going to do with regards to having bigger boundaries because in Australia,
that's the thing.
We've got bigger boundaries in Australia. So I think the likes of Shamo and Keshaf and them are going to be a lot more effective probably in those type of wickets. Even the slower bowlers like Dwayne Pretorius, etc. I think they will also be a lot more effective on those type of wickets.
And Lungi Ngidi as well.
I mean, Lungi Ngidi is our best T20 bowler. I've been saying this for quite some time.
And he's been there was a whole year where he didn't even play, guys. It's crazy. So yes.
The reason I say Lungi is our best is not necessarily, it's not only because of wickets. Yes, he takes wickets. But the thing that I love about Lungi the most, he's able to bowl 135, 140 if he really wants to. But what I think that he's done over the years is he's found these amazing variations and consistency with him. So it's not like we hardly ever see him put the ball wrong. He keeps the batter trapped and puts pressure on them. And having a bowler like that in your team is invaluable in T20 cricket because he can switch it up however he wants to. If he wants to bang it in at 140 and really beat the bat, he can. If he wants to bowl a slower delivery and cramp a batter up, he can do it so too. So there's not many things that Lungi can't do with a ball in his hand in T20 cricket. And the fact that it's only 4 overs that he needs to bowl makes him even more dangerous because we don't have to necessarily worry too much about him being fit all the time and all of those type of things with regards to the rhythm. Yes, we want him to be in the fitness peak that he is now. I think he's probably the fittest that he's ever been for South Africa, except his debut. I mean, when he made his T20 debut, he was lean, he was quick, he was a different type of bowler. He's improved a hell of a lot in his time off, and he's found a way to do so. And I really have to give him props for that. I've always been a big fan of Ngidi. I've been tracking his career since he was playing Red Bull campus cricket. So, like, I'm a big fan of what he has to offer. So, right now, I think best bowler for us. I know. I mean, KG, we're waiting for him to turn it on in T20 cricket. He hasn't necessarily yet been that bowler that we want in white ball cricket. He's done it here and there, and he's put on the performances, and he's extremely difficult to face. Or he's intimidating when he's opening the bowling and you're facing Kagiso Rabada. He's still world class. But this is a perfect situation to have, that we have so many great players in every single position right now. So I'm happy currently. What do we do with Andile, guys, with regards to that? If he can tighten up his lines and lengths, then we have another all-rounder in the mix.
Yeah, we do.
But how do you guys suggest that he fixes that? I mean, we have Shaw Langerveld that he can work for, but it always seems that it's one or the other. He either bats well or he bowls well. He can never find that synergy where he's doing both at the high level. But all of our all-rounders struggle with that, don't they?
Yeah. I think it's just a matter of consistency right now. So we're seeing a lot of like sparks of what can happen. And we're seeing a lot of like execution errors. And it's good to see that the selectors aren't, just brushing him away, because it looks like we're trying to work with processes here. Like, we're giving players time to really find their rhythm and really get themselves into the game. And we've seen it work for players like Aiden Markham, who for a while was teetering, and now, he's not necessarily undroppable, but I mean, he contributes, he steps up. And I feel like the same thing can happen with Andile right now. And I'm glad that he's in the team and he's at least getting a ball and he's not just fielding anymore. And he's taking wickets, He can be a bit expensive, but on a small ground, you're going to be expensive. You just need to make sure that the batting actually backs that up. And we saw that work today. So, and in terms of the three wides to Adil Rashid, I think that was interesting how he sort of drew Adil like wide, got him playing that, and then bowled it on the inside when he saw him chasing. So I think that there was something tactical there. It wasn't just ill discipline. Just getting punished up front on a small field when you're a slow bowler. It happens. Still took a wicket though. So props to the man.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't think he fits into our best 11. I mean, I still think Dwayne Pretorius and Wayne
he offers more with the bat. That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and just in terms of
the left arm option with Wayne Pretorius and the pace as well.
That also helps. But the key to the selection is that I think the selectors want to make sure that they have, what did he say, like 17 players in 11 slots. So they want versatility. They want you to offer something to David Miller or to the captain at the time, especially in limited overs cricket. Because, you do want that 6 bowling option potentially that could help. Or you do want someone that can clear the rope like Dwayne Pretorius can, like he showed against India, if it's a small field. So just having that versatility really, really helps.
So we got a super chat from Carl as well. He wants us to read out his team for him. And he says, how's this team? Quinton de Kock, Pavuma, RILEE, Rassie van der Dussen, Aiden, Miller, Stubbs, Pretorius, KG, Ngidi, Shamsi. It's a bloody good team.
Sorry.
It's a bloody good team. It's very deep batting.
The batting is deep.
How many spinners do we have? We don't have Maharaj.
We don't have Maharaj there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's guys. I don't think we're going to play without spinners. But Aiden does offer that.
There, 1 over each from them. If they can get that 5 runs each on that 1 over, then that's good there.
Yeah.
No, but can you replace Keshav Maharaj? Like the number one spinner.
He's got leadership and he bowls spin.
Yeah,
guys,
his leadership is excellent, man.
It's on another level. It's the whole group. Everybody is contributing. It's him, it's Temba, it's Dean. Let's not forget Dean. We're not chatting about him right now, but he's also been stepping up to the plate. So it looks like a good system. But yes, I'm not sure about not having Maharaj in this lineup. It doesn't look likely, but I do like that you got RILEE and Bavuma and Rassie van der Dussen and Aiden all in there.
And Mark
But
Rooney,
Miller at
yeah,
6.
that's a good one.
Miller at 6 though, and Stubbs at 7. It looks
Guys, this is a decent
so
lineup,
deep. It looks so deep that it's
I'm looking at,
unfair. Like you're looking
I'm
at
looking at
guys
this
like
now,
Miller,
it's
and you're
it's
like,
decent.
is Miller even gonna bat?
I mean, if you really want to, I mean, you can. If you really want to experiment, you could even take out KJ and bring in someone like Parnell. Then you battle 9. So that's also an option. But I mean, I will never take out KG. Me personally, he's like one of those undroppable guys in my eyes. But I believe that everybody should be droppable. Okay, guys, let's just get that. Everybody at the moment, with the way things are, everybody should be droppable. But thank you a lot for the super chat.
Go, Kyle.
I got a question. No, I just got a question, quick one. What do you feel wins the game of cricket? The runs or the wickets?
Both.
Sorry, repeat that again. I missed you.
What do you think wins you a game of cricket? Runs or wickets?
Wickets. I
also,
think.
What about?
I think the bowlers. Because
no, I mean it's to answer to that question, shouldn't your selection be around that answer? So if you like saying wickets, then shouldn't you have a stronger bowling unit and a decent batting unit? If you say runs, then shouldn't you have a stronger batting unit and a decent bowling unit? I don't know.
You see, what makes it difficult
That is
in
a
cricket,
fair argument.
What makes it difficult in cricket is that there's 11 players on the field. So you can never have the split 50-50. It's always going to sway. So you can never get a 50-50 team, unfortunately. So, but your all-rounders balance that out. So the more all-rounders that you have, the better with regards to having overs. So I think South Africa for a very long time have believed that their wickets get them, or their bowlers get them wins, because for a very long time we've been playing like six batters and 5 bowlers for quite some time. We've been doing that. Drop cage. I was joking, Jordan. I was making a joke. Thank you for catching that one. But like it's tough because we believed always that our bowling is the thing that's going to save us for the last couple of years at least. And England have taken the approach that if we can chase down any total, we are good, right? That's the kind of the approach that England's gone. So England bat very deep. But for me, I still believe that wickets are very important, because if we can defend any total and we can reduce a team to as little as possible, then and you have a good batting unit, top 6 or 7, 8, you sorted, because that means you can chase any total and you can defend any total. And I think that balance is probably the perfect balance. I would love to see down the line 2 all-rounders in our team. That would be the great thing. To have Pretorius and Parnell in one team would be a dream thing for me, because that means that you bat right until 8. And you also have a very deep batting lineup. You have a good bowling attack. You've got versatility there. You've got a left armer. You've got a right armer. You've got slower deliveries. You've got guys that can bowl Yorkers. You've got guys that are versatile. You've got spinners. You've got everything in there. So for me, it's got to do with conditions for me, because it's Keshav or Wayne Parnell at the moment. I feel in that 8th position in my eyes currently with the setup, dependable on the conditions and what it's going to offer. So yeah, that's my answer to that question. Seppo, do you have an answer?
I also wanna give this one a shot. I think we're going to think more about it, not in terms of what's going to win batting or bowling, but what's going to win how you bat and how you bowl. So if you pitch up to England and the field is small, and the pitch isn't offering too much spin, maybe just a little bit off the seam, so the ball can travel. So you don't want too much pace. So pace pace could travel easily. So you probably want a lot of variations. So you try to get those type of variation bowlers, because, or at least people that can sort of get you wickets. You need strike bowlers, and you need to identify them, because those are the ones that like are able to change it up. That's why Lungi Ngidi is so effective. That's why he has the X factor, and he can be used anywhere, in the T20, anywhere within the innings rather. But now if you go to a field that is a little bit bigger and boundaries are harder to come by, then maybe you can start to rely more on pace bowlers that could really make it difficult to bat. In terms of batting, you're not trying to clear the boundary every single time. You're trying to work the gaps and really exploit the gaps on the ground because you want your fielders to run a lot. So you'll sort of adjust in that way. Also, like for example, in the West Indies, I remember the T20 series we had there. The one game that we lost, we struggled to really.
It was like a 170 par, like 160, 170 par that series, remember? Couldn't get over that 170 mark.
We couldn't get over that 170 mark. And it was very difficult to get the ball away. And guys like David Miller couldn't use the pace of the pitch to clear the boundary, except for when the ball was fresh. And that's why we attacked the power play. And Quinton de Kock really took off. REEZA Hendricks also did well there as well. So, yeah, you're going to have to sort of think about it like that way. So in that situation, you want someone that rotates the strike, gets the ball, move or gets the scoreboard ticking, and then just finds the gaps, finds the boundaries along the ground. And Themba Bavuma offers that punchy, like quick pocket rockets type of stuff, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I know it's not a straightforward answer, but essentially horses for courses.
Yeah, and you know what, like, I mean, I want to get to a stage in South Africa that we don't maybe need to like change too many things all the time, that we have like consistency within the team and balance. Balance is everything for me. Like at the moment, we've got a lot of, like I said, what makes South Africa special, right? What makes South Africa really, really special is like to have players that are versatile. Like I believe that South Africa is building a different style of cricket here than what England is putting out to the world. We're building a versatile, adaptable style of cricket, right? We assess the conditions and then adapt our style to accordingly. And what I like about that is that you now have versatile players in every position. You've got besides Quinton de Kock, who opens the batting as a keeper. I don't see him anywhere else in the lineup. But you've got Themba Bavuma that can bat 103. You've got REEZA that can bat 103. You've got Rassie that can bat 1 and 3, 4, 5. You've got Aiden that can bat 4, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've got, or no, maybe not 6. You've got David Miller that can bat 4, 5, 6. You've got Hendricks can bat 4, 5, 6. You've got Tristan Stubbs that can bat also, I feel, 4, 5, 6 too, because he's shown me signs of being able to nick the ball, tap the ball, and take runs. That is something in his game that I feel that he has over, for example, like other youngsters in our country. There are other youngsters that are struggling to get that under their belt. When they're struggling, put the ball in the gap, take the run, give it to the opposition. That I think is something that we need to obviously filter through. All our batters need to learn that and get that into the mix. So I think right now we've got Andile that's an all-rounder, a bowling all-rounder. He used to be a bowling all-rounder in my opinion, and now his bowling is worse than his batting, I feel, in recent times on form. Then you've got Dwayne Pretorius that can hit the long ball. Pinch hitter, you could call him sometimes when we need it, or he can also bat at 7. Bowls really well. Has added variations to his delivery, like the Yorker and the wide Yorkers, which has made him an even better bowler than he was before. You've got Wayne Parnell now that is versatile. He can also play as a pinch hitter if he needs to. He's done it for his province. And then he can, and I think he's done it in England as well. I think he's come in situations where he's had to open the batting or something, or bat up the order. I'm not 100% sure, and you can fact check me on that, guys. But we have a versatility there. We've got Keshav that can handle a little bit of quick runs with the bat if he needs to. Spin ability is we know that he's capable of that. I think the only non-versatile player in our whole team is probably Lungi Ngidi and Tabrei Shamsi. So even KG can hit a long ball. So we're sitting, I think we're getting in a good space right now. We've got good backups too. Someone asked about Marco Jansen. He's not in the T20 squad. He was, so that's why also you're not hearing about him. Gerald Coetzee is in there. I mean, Gerald Coetzee is a quick bowler. I think he still needs to work on his control, and he burst onto the scene very well, and he needs to manage his injuries. I think that's the main thing with Gerald Coetzee right now, because we have a hot prospect on our hands. and there's no point in rushing certain players in too quickly. Like we have enough players here that are doing an excellent job. I mean, there's a batter in Rassie van der Dussen sitting on the bench that averages really high for South African cricket in white ball cricket. So, I mean, we have the luxury of that, and that is what it is. So let's get your final points in here. It doesn't look like we're getting any more callers in. So Hussein, let's have your final.
Sorry, Khalid, quick one. What? So your XI, your starting 11 for the next game would be what changes, or would you make any changes?
Not speaking about it tonight. I'm speaking about that tomorrow. let's just give me a day to just think about it and do a review show tomorrow. The preview show, sorry, the preview show tomorrow. Preview show will be at 7 o'clock tomorrow, guys. Normal time. A nice break for us right now. 2-day break at least, because this double night. I didn't sleep much last night, and this double shift of late night games is gonna really kill me. So Hussein, I'll tell you that tomorrow on the show. And please try and make it if you can. We miss you on the show. It would be nice.
I'm gonna do my what's happening tomorrow?
Calling in Friday. From wherever you are. If you're on a date, you're in the movies, you're calling in, brother.
Give me data. Give me the data.
I will give you that. I'll give you that. Okay, let's get your final thoughts. So say your final thoughts and then Tsepo to end off.
My final thoughts are really good performance on the boys today. Played really well. Really impressed me from yesterday. And I just hope that we can take on to the momentum onto Sunday and put the best foot forward, put the best team forward, and win and give England a real run for their money.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm a proud South African cricket fan. We're looking good. We're looking healthy. And I'm excited for deciders. I like that we keep making finals for ourselves. It's like we're preparing. So I like that. The feeling in the camp is great. I love it. Well done, team. Well done, everybody. Cricket South Africa. You guys are doing a good job. Please keep doing this. Keep giving us hope and stuff. You guys are the bomb. Shout out. That's all I want to say.
Fans, thanks a lot for tuning in so late at night. I really appreciate the support. I was really contemplating whether I should do this. I was really contemplating whether I should do this late night show or not after the game. And it was something that I was really concerned about, whether we were going to get the same views, whether we would get the same vibes from everybody. Thanks a lot for tuning in, for sitting with us so late at night. I know a lot of people have work the next game, so that's awesome. So please, guys, subscribe to this channel, please. Click that notification bell for all future videos. It's very important, so you get notified when we go live and we upload videos as well, because we randomly upload things too. Also, subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. Link is on the screen as well in the description. We have a very interesting issue this month. I'm very excited about it. I hope that it does well as I expect it to do. But we've got some excellent insight in this magazine, so I'm hoping that we can get it ready, guys. To my writers that are watching the show, please get your articles into me. Like, comment, and share. Go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for updates. And if you want to help us promote South African cricket and grow South African cricket and make a difference in this game, become a patron today. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. Tsepo, Hussein, thanks for joining me. And we'll see you guys all tomorrow with another preview show. Get ready with your 11s. Let's have fun tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you very, very soon. Peace.